Oh, hi everybody. Welcome, and welcome back to
Yeah.
the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene discussion series. Yesterday we did Law 2, which, Dave, can you refresh my memory? What was Law 2?
Okay, hold on. Law 1 was never outshine your master.
Never
Law
outshine the master, yes.
the master. Okay.
Mhm.
And law 2 was use something about friends and use your enemies. Learn about your
Never
friends.
trust your friends completely. Learn how to use enemies.
Where's Jujubee? I didn't realize there was about to be a test.
Oh, well, I mean, I figure when we spend the whole hour and a half covering these things, talking about it, like, you might remember what they
I feel
are,
like
at
I
least.
remembered. I feel like I
Hello,
remembered.
Medic Mitchell.
Hey.
I feel like I've never seen Medic Mitchell in my, at least not these chats, maybe in some of my other streams where there's a lot more going on. Maybe the stream I did where I shot on a certain elephant having drama, but yes, tonight, Law 3. Conceal your intentions. This one seems a lot more obvious to
Yeah.
me
Well,
than the understanding of the last one, so this might not be as long of a discussion on this.
I didn't pre-read this one, did you?
No, I did not. But I've
Oh,
read it
yay.
before. I've read it
All right.
before, but yeah, it's been so many years since I've read this book. Like, I know most of the allegories that Robert Greene uses in these, like the historical references. Oh, Jimmy YouTube is here.
Alana is
Yo,
here.
Jimmy
Hey,
YouTube.
Jimmy. Juju is here. Grace Cakes
Welcome,
is here.
everybody.
Mike Gohagan is here.
Mm,
LA Grenade is here. Good to
awesome.
see you all.
Good to see
It looked like
everybody
Suzanne
showing
was
up
here
for
for
this
a
one.
bit, but she had to take off because
Yeah,
this is a late show and we get it.
yeah, I
Puffer's
believe
here. Hey, she
I believe
brought.
she said
Wait,
this.
is this French fries or popcorn?
Popcorn, I think. But if she brought
Oh,
French fries, like I hope you brought enough for the class.
how was Shizzy's show? I fell asleep and missed it.
I mean, I was kind of trying to also like eat, and I didn't catch all of it, but I mean, he plays an interesting game of Red Dead. I think when he does more narrating of his character during the gameplay, he'll end up killing, like, just like role play voiceovering his character as he plays. That'll be like the most extreme stream, but I missed most of the gameplay. I came back and they were talking about craftsmanship and carpentry and all that fun stuff, and then the gentleman gave me a free plug and sent all the people that I sent his way back to me, because that's how we do for our friends in our community. We support
Hmm.
completely. So
Hey,
shout out to Mr. Shizzy. Sorry I missed
yeah.
most. Yeehaw GTA. I mean,
Wait,
uh, I don't know
Yeehaw
if you've ever
GTA.
seen.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen Grand Theft Auto role playing streams, Jimmy. But if Shizzy does that with Red Dead, that'll be great. Fun seeing Divinity do this show. Thanks to the good show, Dar. Thank you, Frog, for stopping by. And yeah, I think Divinity and I are almost a perfect match to go ahead and cover this series and discuss these things, because we play two way different power games in our day to days. Do we not?
I mean, yeah, yeah.
I mean, just looking at our taglines, Divinity said not telling, and Darth Hideous got concealed intent. Maybe we play in the same game after all. I don't know. But it's good. It's good to see all of you here, and I say we give it about 5 minutes for the stragglers to go ahead and jump in the mix. Toy Box is already cracking the dude. Stop it, you
Oh wait,
bastard!
you missed one.
You bastard. Mm. Mm. Yeah, I'm not. I'm
This
not
is the
loving
first
that at
one.
all.
This is the one that he was like, "I can't wait to say this in chat tonight."
He's been holding on to that one ever
Hey,
since the stream from earlier.
my favorite Sinbad is here. Good to see you.
Hi, Sinbad.
All
Welcome.
right.
Okay, so do you want to get into this, shall we? I'm gonna go over here
I
and
feel
look at
like we
this.
should.
Law 3 of the 48 Laws of Power. Conceal your intentions. Judgment. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelop them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. So this is serious
Oh,
cunning, conniving, and manipulative type concepts here, I think I feel.
I like
What do
that.
you-
I don't know if I like this, but I do like this. Imagine if this was your thing, you would like you're about
I
to learn
mean,
today.
yeah, if you had to actually go ahead and get into like some sort of conflict, altercation, or combative situation with somebody, would you want them to know exactly what you're planning to do so they can plan a counter for it before you even execute it? Or would you want to conceal all your plans until the last minute and then wham bam, quick knockout, least risk to yourself, maximum impact on delivery?
I feel like if you were to be Flair, I would tell you to just keep reading.
Just keep reading. If I were to be Flair?
Yeah, and I were you.
Oh.
Never mind. If you were here for the first show, you'd get it.
Part 1. Use decoyed objects of desire and red herrings to throw people off the scent. This is a two-part
Mhm.
law.
I like
Awesome.
this.
Or multiple parts. Who knows how many parts? I
Use
didn't.
decoy objects of
Yeah.
desire and red herrings. Okay.
To throw people off the scent. Yeah. Misdirections. If at any point in the deception you practice people have the slightest suspicion to your intentions, all is lost. Do not give them the chance to sense what you are up to. Throw them off the scent by dragging red herrings across the path. Use false sincerity, send ambiguous signals, set up misleading objects of desire. Unable to distinguish the genuine from the false, they cannot pick out your real goal.
Hmm.
Seems pretty self-explanatory. I'm not reading chat, so I don't know what chat's saying or doing right now, but
Chat's saying a lot. Don't worry, they're handling it.
if anyone has any questions, you will go ahead and let me know, right? Or
Yeah.
questions, concerns, comments, emotional outbursts.
Mhm. Sinbad said Murder 101.
Hmm.
Mike said that's the government.
Yeah, I mean, that is the gold mint. That is. I don't know nothing about the Murdoch thing. I didn't follow it. I
Oh,
feel
this
like a
makes so much
gay.
sense. Red herrings and decoys. This really helps. Truly will need the hard copy. Did you not send this? Oh, the hard copy. Never mind.
I mean, hold on. I think I can put it.
Wait,
It's
are we
on
gonna do
here.
48 days of this? If we do 48 days, 49 for the preface, technically, at the end, we
Mhm.
should do a give away this book. We can get it
Yeah.
in by 49 days from now. I mean, why not? We could drop
I
ship it to
mean,
somebody. We could actually give away a Amazon gift card, like a digital gift card. Can we
yeah.
do that? That's a good
I
idea.
mean, we
And
could
they
do
can
something.
they can do whatever they want with it, I guess.
We could definitely do something. We could do like
That'd be cool.
we could do like a trivia stream like the expert does. Questions on the
Ugh,
48 laws, and that'll be the quiz, and whoever wins
that's a
can
good
go
idea.
ahead
I
and
think
win the giveaway.
you can use like I'm pretty sure the white rabbit, like asks all the questions and they just fill it in. You know,
Yeah,
the trivia thing.
I think there's a bot or something that you can use to
We
set
should do
that up.
that. We should do that anyways, actually.
Yeah, we should do that anyways.
Okay, sorry, chat. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Transgression of the law. Over several weeks, Ninon de L'Enclos, the most infamous courtesan of 17th century France. I hate these stories about France. Stupid names. We're gonna call this guy. What are we gonna call this guy for the sake of this story? I'm not calling him this.
The Ninin guy?
Yeah, Ninon. Ninon. We're just gonna call him Ninon. Fuck it.
Nin Okay.
Ninon listened patiently as the Marquis de Sévigné explained his struggles in pursuing a beautiful but difficult young countess. Ninon was 62 at the time, and more than experienced in matters of love. The Marquis was a lad of 22, handsome, dashing, but hopelessly inexperienced in romance. At first Ninon was amused to hear the Marquis talk about his mistakes, but finally she had had enough. Unable to bear ineptitude in any realm, least of all in seducing a woman, she decided to take the young man under her wing. First, he had to understand that this was war, and that the beautiful countess was a citadel to which he had to lay siege as carefully as any general. Every step had to be planned and executed with the utmost attention to detail and nuance. Instructing the Marquis to start over, Ninon told him to approach the Countess with a bit of distance and air of nonchalance. The next time the two were alone together, she said he would confide in the Countess as would a friend but not a potential lover. This was to throw her off the scent. The Countess was no longer to take his interest in her for granted. Perhaps he was only interested in friendship. Ninon planned ahead. Once the Countess was confused, it would be time to make her jealous. At the next encounter, at a major fete in Paris, the Marquis would show up with a beautiful woman at his side. This beautiful young woman had equally beautiful friends, so that wherever the Countess would now see the Marquis, he would be surrounded by the most stunning young women in Paris. Not only would the Countess be seething with jealousy, she would come to see the Marquis as someone who was desired by others. It was hard for Ninon to make the Marquis understand, but she patiently explained that a woman who is interested in a man wants to see that other women are interested in him too. Not only does that give him instant value, it makes it all the more satisfying to snatch him from their clutches. Ah, bitches be petty.
Mm.
I feel like both sexes play the same kind of game to a degree. Once the Countess was jealous but intrigued, it would be time to beguile her. On Ninon's instructions, the Marquis would fail to show up at affairs where the Countess expected to see him. Then, suddenly, he would appear at, I think this is saloons, it says salons, but I, that he had never
Yeah.
frequented before. Um,
I bet it's salons because she doesn't go to
yeah,
saloons.
I mean, there weren't
Saloons? That
saloons
feels
in
like a very
ancient
Western
France.
word.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, there,
I
it's a salon.
mean, it's definitely a salon, but that the Countess attended often. She would be unable to predict his moves. All of this would push her into the state of emotional confusion that is a prerequisite
This is
for
ridiculous.
successful seduction. This does seem a little
I
bit
mean,
a
come
lot.
on, jeez Louise.
These moves were executed and took several weeks. Ninon monitored the Marquis's progress. Through her network of spies, she heard how the Countess would laugh a little harder at his witticisms, listen more closely to his stories. She heard that the Countess was suddenly asking questions about him. Her friends told her that at social affairs the Countess would often look up at the Marquis, following his steps. Ninon felt certain that the young woman was falling under his spell. It was a matter of weeks now, maybe a month or two, but if all went smoothly, the citadel would fall. A few days later the Marquis was at the Countess's home. They were alone. Suddenly he was
Mm.
a different man, this time acting on his own impulse rather than following Ninun's instructions. He took the Countess's hand and told her he was in love with her. The young woman seemed confused, a reaction he did not expect. She became polite, then excused herself. For the rest of the evening she avoided his eyes, was not there to say good night to him. The next few times he visited, he was told she was not at home. When she finally admitted him again, the two felt awkward and uncomfortable with each other. The spell was broken.
'Cause
Oh man,
reality stepped the
I
fuck in.
mean, he done fucked up. Like
Stop.
all he had to do was go
She
ahead.
didn't like him.
I mean, she might have liked him.
No, dude, she didn't like your ass.
He done
Can't
popped
trick
off.
her.
He done popped off too soon. Like too soon, Junior.
Too
You done blew
soon.
your load. She was not that into you, but I mean, being mysterious and intriguing does, especially if you're like
He was
desired
still the
by.
same dude she didn't like
Mhm.
on the other side of all that.
I mean, he's playing a very silly game, and he didn't play it all the way to its uh, conclusion, and that is why he lost. Like it could have worked. I've seen such things work. In fact,
I doubt it.
this guy actually wrote an entire book called The Art of Seduction, which may end up being covered also on this channel. We'll see. Like, see how this one goes first. She saw through the BS. I mean, he let the mask slip. There was no BS to see through.
It was
He
all BS.
went ahead and beat himself for the first time, and she was like,
He
nope.
himself, he did things to intentionally try to make her jealous so
No,
that she would be like, "Wait, what's the d"
I mean, when he finally cracked, like, the effect he was having on her, he did it by opening way too up, way too fast. He made his intentions known, and he failed miserably for whatever reason, probably a multitude of reasons. Shall we check and see what
Is it
the author's interpretation is on this? Or do you want to? I
No,
feel
let's
like you
see what
just
he
had a question that was actually relevant.
I forgot already.
Oh, gay.
I know, sorry.
Gay? Uh, interpretation. Ninon knew everything about the art of love. The great writers, thinkers, and politicians of the time had been her lovers. Men like uh,
Mhm.
Roche, Moliere, and Ricci. Seduction was a game to her, to be practiced with skill. I feel like women have way more tools in their bag to seduce men who are much easier to seduce than women are. This is not fair for, like, I think the moral of this story at this point is never take dating advice from a woman if you're a man, like, ever. In fact, don't ever take
Well, I mean,
dating
he's
advice
trying
from
to date
anyone.
a woman, and the woman is trying to
Mhm.
say she knows what women want, and if he
Yep.
would've just followed the plan, then eventually she would've been tricked into it, but that's some
Right.
fucked up.
This is a stupid game. Like, seduction was a game
Mhm.
there, and that's exactly what he was doing. To be practiced with skill. As she got older and her reputation grew, I wonder what reputation that is. I mean, the most important families in France would send their sons to her to be instructed in matters of love. Ninon knew that men and women are very different. Absolutely. But when it comes to seduction, they feel the same. I doubt it. Deep down inside, they often sense when they are being seduced, but they give in because they enjoy the feeling of being led along. It is a pleasure to let go and to allow the other person to detour you into a strange country. Everything in seduction, however, depends on suggestion. You cannot announce your intentions or reveal them directly in words. Instead, you must throw your targets off the scent. To surrender to your guidance, they must be appropriately confused. You have to scramble your signals, appear interested in another man or woman, the decoy, then hint at being interested in the target, then feign indifference, on and on. See, this is why the game of dating and just this fucking stupid dance is all way too retarded to even do. That's why people ain't getting like involved in long term relationships and marriages anymore. Ain't nobody even got the patience to do this little stupid dance.
No, we this is all such outdated the person watch, this is gonna be a quote from, like, 1733.
I
"Listen, we
mean, all
decided
of
we're
these
just gonna talk
things.
to each other and be honest now. We changed
Yeah.
the rules."
Such patterns not only confuse, they excite. I mean, I've had so many examples where this game is being played both by me, on me, and around me that I feel like people still do this dumb shit today. I just stopped
Yeah.
watching after a while.
No, I mean, I think people do play games, and it is like this, and it does trick
Mhm.
people, and that's why divorces are probably so high.
I mean, I feel like people be
Or relationships are so
getting
short. Maybe that's what I should have
getting
said.
doing the getting married for the wrong reasons. That's
Yeah.
first of all. Imagine the story from the Countess's perspective. After the fear of the Marquise moves, she sensed the Marquise was playing some sort of game, but the game delighted her. She did not know where he was leading her, but so much the better. His moves intrigued her, each of them keeping her waiting for the next one. She even enjoyed her jealousy and confusion. Seems unlikely. For sometimes any emotion is better than the boredom of security. I mean, these
Okay,
are
that's
facts.
fair.
These are facts, yes. Perhaps the Marquis had ulterior motives. Most men do. Ain't that the truth, sister? It's funny because Robert Greene's writing this and he's a guy. But she was willing to wait and see, and probably if she had been made to wait long enough, what he was up to would not have mattered. I feel like it matters. The moment the Marquis uttered that fatal word love, however, all was changed. This was no longer a game with moves. It was an artless show of passion. His intention was revealed. He was seducing her. This put everything he had done in a new light. All that before he had been charming all yeah, all that before he had been charming now seemed or that had been charming now seemed ugly and conniving. The Countess felt
Mhm.
embarrassed and used. A door closed that would never open again.
Dun, dun,
Do not
dun.
do not be held to cheat, even though it is impossible to live today without being one. Let your greatest cunning lie in covering up what looks like cunning.
What? Do
Let
not?
your greatest cunning lie in covering up what looks like cunning. So let your greatest
Oh
lie
my god.
be covering up your lies or your deceptions.
It's a lot.
Balthasar Gracian, of course, because why wouldn't it be?
1600. It's impossible to live today without being a cheat. That was 1600. Do you think this is still, like, more apt today?
Um,
Or still?
I feel like everybody be doing it, so it seems a little impossible. Like nobody lives a blameless, perfectly honest life if you're being blameless and perfectly honest. Everyone got their deceptions.
All of us were
Actually,
going, maybe not," and then they hit some things, we're like, "Okay, this is so damn true."
yeah, I mean, oh damn! Look at what
Oh,
our grenade puts.
shoot.
Oh man, 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 we done it. We done it. Sorry, Cat Ninja. We
Oh,
chronic
cat
cardos.
ninja. Let's stay chronic tardy. Damn
We
it. I'm
had
so
one
into my
job.
cat now. I didn't know it was
Yeah,
about to happen. I kind of forgot.
my bad, yo.
I need more than 4 minutes late warning.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I'm like,
blameless
"This
is
is
not a
bull."
thing. Neither is perfectly honest, if we're being honest. Nobody does that. So,
Yeah, we
I mean,
discovered that, right? In one of these
yep.
rules.
I mean, I feel like Law 1 and Law 3 are related, but yeah, Law 2 definitely got into a lot of like how even your friends can betray you and deceive you and stab you in the back, and how
In the
sometimes
face.
like your worst enemy can be like your greatest, staunchest supporter and ally if you go ahead and propagate the right ground for like you kill an enemy when you make them your friend, but you can also kill an enemy with a great big sword called kindness.
Yeah,
If
that's
I,
a good one.
so if I ever have a sword, I'm gonna name it kindness.
I need to get back to that one because that'll help like basically all these rules so far. If you use the kill 'em with kindness rule 1, 2, and 3,
Hmm.
it'll deal with kindness because then they'll know your intent. Which I don't know how that works with it'll rule with rule 1 and 2. History of the games of love and war are fascinating, Sinbad said, but they're very similar.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like people don't play the game of love or the game of war too much differently in 2023 than they did in 1601 or whenever this story is based. I know that quote from that poet was a poet that only lived for like 57 years,
If
which
your
I feel like was
deception
old.
yeah.
Yeah, if your deception is detected at all is lost. Yes.
Well, it said it didn't say, like, take a lot of different rabbit holes and do a lot of different shit. So, if your deception in one area is detected, don't you should have if you're doing this rule, right? Shouldn't you have, like, a couple different deceptions to fall back on or something? I might be really good at this law.
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
kidding. I'm just saying, didn't it say that? Like, they said layer upon layer, basically, like
yes, I mean, you misdirect, decoy, like it's kind of a cycle. I don't feel like jumping all over the place and being super erratic is what they're getting at, but be unpredictable. Do the thing they're not going to expect. Like, try to sell them something else than what you're really doing. But yeah, sell them multiple different, like, things to think about that will
for
throw them
how
off the
long?
scent of what you're really doing until you realize you got him, which is probably why he lost. He thought he had it in the bag, and he had not finished the game.
Yeah, but she doesn't tell us either how we know how long. Well, maybe we'll learn.
Hmm. Actually, the next one is the observance of the law. In 1850, the young Otto von Bismarck, then a 35-year-old deputy in the Prussian parliament, was at a turning point in his career. The issues of the day were the unification of the many states, including Prussia, into which Germany was then divided, and a war against Austria, the powerful neighbor to the south that hoped to keep the Germans weak and at odds, even threatening to intervene if they tried to unite. Prince William, next in line to be Prussia's king, was in favor of going to war, and the Parliament rallied to the cause, prepared to bring back any mobilization of troops. The only ones who to oppose the war were the present King Frederick William IV and his ministers, who preferred to appease the powerful Austrians. Throughout his career, Bismarck had been a loyal, even passionate supporter of the Prussian might and power. He dreamed of German unification, of going to war against Austria and humiliating the country that for so long had kept Germany divided. A former soldier, he saw warfare as a glorious business. This, after all, was the man who years later would say, "The greatest questions of the time will be decided not by speeches and resolutions, but by iron and blood." Passionate patriot and lover of military glory, Bismarck nevertheless gave a speech in Parliament at the height of the war fever that astonished all who heard it. "Woe unto the statesman," he said, "who makes war without a reason that will still be valid when the war is over. After the war, you will all look differently at these questions. Will you then have the courage to turn to the peasant contemplating the ashes of his farm, to the man who has been crippled, to the father who has lost his children?" Not only did Bismarck go on to talk of the madness of this war, but, strangest of all, he praised Austria and defended her actions. This went against everything he had stood for. The consequences were immediate. Bismarck was against the war. What could this possibly mean? Other deputies were confused, and several of them changed their votes. Eventually the king and his ministers won out, and war was averted. A few weeks after, oh, wait, did I way over scroll here? No. A few weeks after Bismarck's infamous speech, the king, grateful that he had spoken for peace, made him a cabinet minister. A few years later he became the Prussian premier. In this role he eventually led his country and a peace-loving king into a war against Austria, crushing the former empire and establishing a mighty German state with Prussia at its head. Interpretation. At the time of his speech in 1850, Bismarck made several calculations. First, he sensed that the Prussian military, which had not kept pace with the other European armies, was unready for war; that Austria, in fact, might very well win. A disastrous result for the future. Second, if the war were lost and Bismarck had supported it, his career would be gravely jeopardized. The king and his conservative ministers wanted peace. Bismarck wanted power. The answer was to throw people off the scent by supporting a cause he detested, saying things he would laugh at if said by another. A whole country was fooled. It was because Bismarck's speech that the king made him a minister, a position from which he quickly rose to become prime minister, attaining the power to strengthen the Prussian military and accomplish what he had wanted all along: the humiliation of Austria and the unification of Germany under Prussia's leadership. Bismarck was certainly one of the cleverest statesmen who ever lived, a master of strategy and deception. No one suspected what he was up to in this case. Had he announced his real intentions, arguing that it would be better to wait now and fight later, he would not have won the argument, since most Prussians wanted war at that moment and had mistakenly believed that their army was superior to the Austrians. He had played up to the king, asking to be made a minister in exchange for supporting peace. Or had he played up to the king, asking to be made a minister in exchange for supporting peace, he would not have succeeded either. The king would have distrusted his ambition and doubted his sincerity. By being completely insincere and sending misleading signals, however, he deceived everyone, concealed his purpose, and attained everything he wanted. Such
Hmm.
is the power of hiding your intentions. Yeah,
I get it.
I mean, using the art of deception to completely throw them off what you're really trying to do it's definitely not a kind of art that many people I'm no, I don't want anyone to unsubscribe. Please don't
I put
unsubscribe.
on I put on your banner, it says, rule number 3, conceal your intentions. Don't like and subscribe because I was trying to conceal your
Oh,
intentions. It's not
oh,
working.
oh, it's not working.
Shit. Better
This
read
is
faster so I can figure out this law.
yes. We have to understand why, when, and where, and why to conceal our
How to apply.
intentions.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but they can influence a kid to
Ooh.
chop and alter body parts. Yay, progress. I mean, they're concealing their intentions. They're playing the game. They're seeking power.
That's kind of a blatant one.
I don't trust anyone. I have learned from
Mhm.
people who said they would be there, have not the silver lining of illness and death. You learn most can't be trusted. I mean,
Yeah, that was law 2 yesterday, especially.
yeah, that was definitely Law 2. If you haven't, if you haven't seen Law 2, never trust your
Well,
friends completely. Learn how to use your enemies, and
mhm.
that's a tough one for I think most people because everyone wants to trust their friends, but that's how you get betrayed by your friends by trusting them too completely and not understanding that everyone has the capacity for betrayal, not just you.
Yeah, not just you. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, I mean, I may or may not have betrayed a friendship in the
Aw.
past. Usually it was because a friend was fucking up with another friend. Like, it was always intergroup bullshit.
Ooh, that sounds juicy. Could you tell us
I
all
mean,
their names or anything like that?
no,
Conceal
I'm
your
just,
I mean, I'd hate to know their
no,
names. I would hate to
just,
know their names.
I'm definitely concealing my intentions on. I'll tell you all about it, but not right now. How about that?
Ugh. Okay,
Yeah,
fine. I'm
just
gonna
wait a
restrain
little
myself
while.
now.
We got a keys to power to get through. Keys to power. Most people are open books. They say what they feel, blurt out their opinions at every opportunity, and constantly reveal their plans and intentions. This is me to a very almost fatal fault. I
Hmm.
can't really deceive well, so I figure out how to be an open book and still be written in a language you don't understand.
Ooh. Interesting.
They do this for several reasons. First, it is easy and natural to always want to talk about one's feelings and plans for the future. It takes effort to control your tongue and monitor what you reveal. Second, many believe that by being honest and open, they are winning people's hearts and showing their good nature. They are greatly deluded.
Yeah.
Honesty is actually a blunt instrument which
Mm.
bloodies more than it cuts. Bludgeons is what that's supposed to say. Bludgeons more than it cuts. Your honesty is likely to offend people. Your honesty is likely
I
to
can
offend
see it.
people. It is much more prudent to tailor your words, telling people what they want to hear rather than the coarse and ugly truth of what you feel or think.
Mhm.
More important, by being unabashedly open, you make yourself so predictable and familiar that it is almost impossible to respect or fear you, and power will not accrue to a person who cannot inspire such emotions. If you yearn for
Mm.
power, quickly lay honesty aside and train yourself in the art of concealing your intentions. Master the art, and you will always have the upper hand. Basic to an ability to conceal one's intentions is a simple truth about human nature. Our first instinct is to always trust appearances. We cannot go around doubting the reality of what we see and hear, otherwise you become a paranoid schizoid. Constantly imagining that appearances concealed something else would exhaust and terrify us. This fact makes it relatively easy to conceal one's intentions. Simply dangle an object you seem to desire, a goal you seem to aim for, in front of people's eyes, and they will take the appearance for reality. So, like, I'm dangling this desire for y'all to go ahead and like and subscribe and share this out to your friends. And I'm letting y'all know that it's my intention to grow this channel. But
To a
secretly,
million
over here in
subs.
this other hand, I'm just trying to learn y'all something.
Wait, why don't you do it differently? It says simply dangle an object
Yeah,
you seem to desire, a goal
a
you
goal
seem to
you
aim
aim for.
for in front of
Yeah,
people's eyes, and they will take the appearance for reality. So what
right.
if instead of like most people say, "Oh no, don't subscribe" or whatever, you say like, "I'm trying to get a million subs by the end
I
of this
mean, I
year."
really do want a million subs. Maybe not by the end of this year, but like,
Why
I
not? Why don't
mean,
you make it a big goal like that? It'll have the appearance of reality.
cause I definitely don't want my channel to get Captain Coreyed for growing too damn fast. But
Oh, relax. That's not gonna
if
happen.
if y'all want to go ahead and share my channel everywhere you go to everyone you know, if you want to make flyers and put them on people's cars in the grocery store parking lot, I mean, I'm not telling
That's
you
a
to
good
do
idea.
it, but I'm definitely not saying don't do that. Like, uh,
Okay.
once their eyes focus on the decoy, they will fail to notice what you're really up to. In seduction, set up conflicting signals such as desire and indifference. You not only throw them off the scent, you inflame their desire to possess you. A tactic that is often effective in setting up a red herring is to appear to support an idea or cause that is actually contrary to your own sentiments. Bismarck used this to great effect in his speech in 1850. Most people will believe you have experienced a change of heart, since it is so unusual to play so lightly with something as emotional as one's opinions and values. The same applies for any decoyed object of desire. Seem to want something in which you are actually not at all interested, and your enemies will be thrown off the scent, making all kinds of errors in their calculations.
Um, nothing.
During the War of the Spanish Succession in 1711, the Duke of Marlborough, head of the
Ooh,
English army, yeah, he's Smoky,
he's a cowboy
Duke
in our
Smoky,
day.
yeah, Duke Smoky, the John Wayne, the Duke of Marlborough's, wanted to destroy a key French fort because it protected a vital thoroughfare into France. Yet he knew that if he destroyed it, the French would realize what he wanted. To advance down that road instead, he merely captured the fort and garrisoned it with some of his troops, making it appear as if he wanted it for some purpose of his own. The French attacked the fort and the Duke let them recapture it. Once they had it back, though, they destroyed it, figuring that the Duke had wanted it for some important reason. Now that the fort was gone, the road was unprotected and Marlborough could easily march into France. Got 'em! Got to destroy their own damn fort just by capturing it for a little while and then letting them take it back. Like, you have no idea why the hell I took this, but yeah, it must be important if he took it. Like, we're gonna take it back and we're gonna burn it to the ground. Suckers. Use this tactic in the following manner. Hide your intentions by not closing up, with the risk of appearing secretive and making people suspicious, but by talking endlessly about your desires and goals, just not your real ones. You will kill three birds with one stone. Oh shit, three birds, damn. I heard of killing
Oh,
two birds with one stone, but where's this third bird?
well,
You appear friendly, open, and trusting. You conceal your intentions, and you send your rivals on time consuming wild goose chases.
oh,
Ooh,
I'm
that
gonna
is
try
three
it.
birds. Bang. Yeah, anyone got a stone? Ah.
I mean, worse.
Another powerful tool in throwing people off the scent is false sincerity. People easily mistake sincerity for honesty. Remember, their first instinct is to trust appearances, and since they value honesty and want to believe in the honesty of those around them, they will rarely doubt you or see through your act.
Hmm.
Seeming to believe what you say gives your words great weight. This is how Iago deceived and destroyed Othello. Given the depth of his emotions, the apparent sincerity of his concerns about Desdemona's supposed infidelity, how could Othello distrust him? This is also how the great con artist Yellow Kid Whale pulled the wool over suckers' eyes, seeming to believe so deeply in the decoyed object he was dangling in front of them, a phony stock, a touted racehorse. He made its reality hard to doubt. It is important, of course, not to go too far in this area. Sincerity is a tricky tool. Appear overpassionate and you raise suspicions. Be measured and believable, or your ruse will seem the put-on that it is. To make your false sincerity an effective weapon in concealing your intentions, espouse a belief in honesty and forthrightness as
Ugh.
important social values. Just go ahead
Okay.
and tell people about how honest and open you are and how
I
you
know
would
some
never do that and how
fellow journalists who was just like this. It's
I mean
fucking
I heard
weird.
some
And I was, yeah.
I mean you're not very good at Law 3 if you're doing some of the things that the journalism be doing.
They did all
Uh,
of this lie so
yeah.
believingly and so confidently that no one would believe that you would lie to their face and then
Yeah.
espouse the fact that you believe in truth. It's the playbook of
Do
journalism.
this as
Different name.
publicly as possible.
Mhm.
Emphasize your position on this subject by occasionally divulging some heartfelt thought, though only one that is actually meaningless or irrelevant, of course. Napoleon's minister Talleyrand was a master at taking people into his confidence by revealing some apparent secret. This feigned confidence, a decoy, would then elicit a real confidence on the other person's part. So he
Hmm.
just lied to people, conned them into believing him, and then they was honest with him, and he abused it.
That seems
I mean,
fishy.
that's why I always tell people that we're all fucking liars. Like, that's the honest truth. Or is it?
I'm like, "Oh, wait, hold on. That means you're telling me something openly. It has to be bullshit because you wouldn't be
Yeah,
talking about it if it was real, so this must
yep.
be." Ugh.
Have fun with that. Remember, the best deceivers do everything they can to cloak their roguish qualities. They cultivate an air of honesty in one area to disguise their dishonesty in others. Honesty is merely another decoy in their arsenal of weapons.
Good night,
Okay, so
sir.
that was part one.
My palms are itching. Does that mean money? Oh, man, I hope I get a check.
uh, why? So you can wait like 18 years to take it to the bank?
Relax.
Doesn't sound bad.
Sounds personal. Okay, Cool Frog S said to check your Discord DMs.
Yes, I checked my Discord
Okay.
DMs. I heard what he said. Don't worry about this.
Are you talking to me? I just wanted to
Mm-mm.
let you know you were
I'm,
reading
talk-
them.
no, I'm talking to Cool Frog specifically because I don't
What's
want to
wrong?
like type in my DMs.
Oh,
Um,
they're having
apparently, because you're channel banned, you can only be my guest. You can't be my co-host. But fuck it, you're my consummate guest who
my band is
co-hosts
technically
this
on
segment.
hold. Not really
Yeah,
banned yet.
right. Like I'm,
But,
I'm really not super
um,
worried about the way
does it
I
say
phrase
co-host
shit in my
somewhere?
description. What?
Oh, it says it in your description.
Mm-hmm.
And if it matters.
Yeah, I mean, This is still my
Thank you
show. You don't
for
do
saying.
shows on my channel by yourself. Like, you come
No,
on to
I'm still
guest
in
with
jail.
me.
I'm on
Yeah.
groundation,
Yep,
and I
on
can't wait to
groundation.
drop these videos when I get out of groundation. There's one
I
I
can't wait
have
for
2
that either.
already that are ready, and I have, like, 5 shorts that are ready, but the one I'm making today right now is such a good video. I almost just wanna play all of the clips that I have right now and talk about it. Not right now, but I love it that much. It's gonna be
I
fun.
mean, that would be sneaking something awesome into the middle of the stream like you was threatening yesterday.
That was today, but yeah,
Just,
maybe.
just give, just give them a sneak preview. Well, I
Oh,
mean, you was
yeah.
talking about it last night as well
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
on this very stream. Only it was Law 2,
I
not
could go
Law
get my
3.
cutting board. I didn't and I do you guys wanna no, okay, let's just keep going.
Okay, let's just keep going because we got a part 2. But first of all, like, the part 1. What the damn Sam hell was the preface for part 1? Damn it! I never know the answers to these things. Use decoyed objects. Okay. Yeah. So always go ahead and absolutely misrepresent your intentions. Is basically everything I got from that.
It was my
If
left
if you
palm.
don't want people to know what you're doing, you have to definitely misrepresent your intentions. I don't see how part 2 is going to be much different because using smoke screens is like if you smoke screening, people don't know where you're coming from. So
A decoy,
isn't
though,
that the
is the
same thing?
thing, and a
Mhm.
smoke screen
Mm.
is we're gonna
Yeah,
find
that's
out. I
the
don't
mystery play. Like that's the difference between like a magician who's using
know.
the sleight of hand and like the guy doing the 3 card money con in the park or the shell game. I think these things seem extremely similar, but they are not the same. Wait a minute, there's sub rules to the itchy palms theory?
Yeah, they said one is receiving and one is giving, and they're
Mm,
ho they say left. I'm gonna let's not Google it. We'll just thoughts our things on this and assume that that's
well,
right.
yeah, because was it your left palm
Ooh,
that was
itching,
itching?
yeah.
That's then we're gonna just assume that's correct and not look it up.
Yeah, I mean, that seems right.
Moving on to part 2, if there's no questions in the chat, like I'm trying to wait to see if anyone's got
They've
anything to
been
say
keeping
about the
up as we
decoy
go, I
objects.
think.
Yeah, but I like hearing their opinions on like. Does anybody here practice deception to advance themselves? Like, be dishonest now. Don't tell any
Alex
of us the
said,
truth.
"Smokescreen first. Once caught, it turns to gaslighting." I wonder if this is gonna be true
Oh,
fact.
we will see, won't
Dun,
we?
dun, dun. Thank you for participating. You get a gold star.
Gold star. Part 2. Use smoke screens to disguise your actions. Deception is always the best strategy, but the best deception requires a screen of smoke to distract people's attention from your real purpose. The bland exterior, like the unreadable poker face, is often the perfect smokescreen, hiding your intentions behind the comfortable and familiar. If you lead the sucker down a familiar path, he won't catch on when you lead him into a trap.
Hmm.
Interesting. Observance of the Law 1? So there's multiple of these?
Gee
In
Louise.
1910, a Mr. Sam Gazelle of Chicago sold his warehouse business for close to $1 million. $1 million. I feel like we need a Dr. Evil meme at
I
this
know, yeah,
point.
definitely.
He settled down to semi-retirement and the managing of his many properties, but deep inside he itched for the old days of deal-making. One day, a young man named Joseph Veal visited his office, wanting to buy an apartment he had up for sale. Gazelle explained the terms. The price was $8,000, but he only required a down payment of $2,000, so literally 25%. I feel like that's a lot.
Mm,
Veal said he would sleep on it.
your mic is getting staticky. Feels a little. I don't know what's happening.
Oh dear God, not this again. Okay,
Mm,
you go ahead and babysit chat. I'm gonna go ahead and try to fix it.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I was hoping it started when you first started reading this, and I thought, maybe it'll fix itself. But it's doing a little crackling. I wasn't sure if chat heard it also. I didn't want it to keep going on, and then you'd be, it's just me. So, like I was saying, subscribe to my channel. Hopefully, I can get it back. No, definitely, I'm getting it back because that's 10 days, boys. But then I don't know if I'm actually gonna get it back tomorrow. So, for me, I'm not gonna read this because you're disgusting. Well, right when you said that, Divinity, my phone shut out of chat completely. I don't remember what that's about. Yeah, Juju's the best. It sounded better to me now than it did on replay for me last night. Oh. Should I take myself out of chat so I don't get in trouble? Oh, because I'm just here as a placeholder. Hey, thank you. You know, every time I saw you in a chat and it said Justice for Divinity under your name, I was like, it made my heart swell a little bit. I was like, oh, it's so sweet. Darth Bean fuzzy sound. My phone shut out right as you said that. Ooh. You guys couldn't hear it? Oh, great. It's probably me. Hey, Shy. Well, we're learning the art of deception. I don't know. They shouldn't really call this the laws of power or rules of power, whatever it's called. It should be the art of deception. This is why I don't do my own live streams, because I don't really have a lot to say. I mean, I do have a lot to say, but none of it's appropriate for YouTube. Sad tubes.
Oh,
Hey. Cool Frog said you didn't have any fuzz, and it's probably just me the whole time.
probably just you the whole time.
Sorry.
Oh, well, I mean, you're overly hypercritical of everything, and stream quality is important to you, so. Oh, hi, Heidi. I mean, I can't begrudge you that. Like, you want a good show, mostly for me. Why would I be mad? Like, but if it is you, like, I can't fix that. I mean, I still gotta bring this back up to share because I had to exit out of everything, so. Were we at the asking the down payment of 25%, 2 grand? Veal said he would sleep on it, but he came back the following day and offered to pay the full 8,000 in cash. If Gazelle could wait a couple of days until a deal Veal was working on came through. Even in semi-retirement, a clever businessman like Gazelle was curious as to how Veal would be able to come up with so much cash, roughly $150,000 today, so quickly. Veal seemed reluctant to say and quickly changed the subject, but Gazelle was persistent. Finally, after assurances of confidentiality, Veal told Gazelle the following story. The Man, sometimes the king of Israel Ein's worship of the. Uh, I have no idea what the hell that's supposed to even say. This is the
Mm,
second time. I feel like whoever did this PDF needs to be fired and shot.
punished, yeah. Well, allegedly.
Yeah. Do you wanna read that section?
Me? I don't wanna read any of it. I'm just trying to
Okay.
listen.
Then
You're so much
Jehu
better at reading.
assembled all the people and said to them, Ahab served Baal a little,
Yahoo!
but Jehu will serve him much more. Now therefore call to me all the prophets of Baal, all his worshippers, and all his priests. Let none be missing, for I have had a great sacrifice to offer Baal. Whoever is missing shall not live. But Jehu did it with cunning in order to destroy the worshippers of Baal. And Jehu ordered, Sanctify a solemn assembly for Baal. So they proclaimed it. And Jehu sent throughout all Israel, and all the worshippers of Baal came, so that there was not a man left who did not come. And they entered the house of Baal, and the house of Baal was filled from one end to the other. Then Jehu went into the house and said to the worshippers of Baal, Search and see that there is no servant of the Lord here among you, but only the worshippers of Baal. Then he went in to offer sacrifices and burnt offerings. Now Jehu, who had stationed 80 men outside, and said, The man who allows any of those whom I give into your hands to escape shall forfeit his life. So as soon as he had made an end of offering the burnt offering, Jehu said to the guards and to the officers, Go in and slay them, let not a man escape. So when they put them to the sword, the guard and the officers cast them out and went into the inner room of the house of Baal, and they brought out the pillar that was in the house of Baal and burned it. And they demolished the pillar of Baal and demolished the house of Baal and made it a latrine to this day. So people are
Mm.
still pissing there in 2023. Dear God, that's got to smell. Thus Jehu wiped out Baal from Israel. Old Testament, 2 Kings 10:18-28. Vale's uncle was a secretary to a courtier of multimillionaire financiers. These wealthy gentlemen had purchased a hunting lodge in Michigan. What? You
Mm.
man, why are you purchasing a hunting lodge in Michigan?
Michigan hunting lodges in the Old Testament? Oh, wait, that was the
Oh
previous
no,
one.
that's over. Yeah, like we're back to the story
I was
that
gonna say,
Vale was
this is
telling
not
Gazelle.
real.
Yeah,
Okay.
10 years ago at a cheap price. They had not used the lodge for a few years, so they had decided to sell it and had asked Vale's uncle to get whatever he could for it. For reasons, good reasons, of his own, the uncle had been nursing a grudge against the millionaires for years. This was his chance to get back at them. He would sell the property for $35,000 to set up man whom it was Vale's job to find. The financiers were too wealthy to worry about this low price. The setup man would then turn around and sell the property again for its real price, around $155,000. The uncle, Vale, and the third man would split the profits from the second sale. It was all legal and for a good cause, the uncle's just retribution. Gizil had heard enough. He wanted to be the setup buyer. Vale was reluctant to involve him, but Gazelle would not back down. The idea of a large profit, plus a little adventure, had him chomping at the bit. Vale explained that Gazelle would have to put up the 35,000 in cash to bring the deal off. Gazelle, a millionaire, said he could get the money with a snap of his fingers. Vale finally relented and agreed to arrange a meeting between the uncle, Gazelle, and the financiers in the town of Galesburg, Illinois. On the train ride to Galesburg, Gazelle met the uncle, an impressive man with whom he avidly discussed business. Vale also brought along a companion, a somewhat paunchy man named George Gross. Vale explained to Gazelle that he himself was a boxing trainer and that Gross was one of the promising prize fighters he trained, and that he had asked Gross to come along to make sure the fighter stayed in shape. For a promising fighter, Gross was unimpressive looking. He had gray hair and a beer belly, but Gazelle was so excited about the deal that he didn't really think about the man's flabby appearance. Sorry, I got coffee. Once in Galesburg, Veal and his uncle went to fetch the financiers while Gazelle waited in a hotel room with Gross, who promptly put on his boxing trunks. As Gazelle half-watched, Gross began to shadow box. Distracted as he was, Gazelle ignored how badly the boxer wheezed after a few minutes of exercise. Although his style seemed real enough, an hour later, Veal and his uncle reappeared with the financiers, an impressive, intimidating group of men, all wearing fancy suits. The meeting went well, and the financiers agreed to sell the lodge to Gazelle, who had already had the $35,000 wired to a local bank. This minor business now settled, the financiers sat back in their chairs and began to banter about high finance, throwing out the name J.P. Morgan as if they knew the man. Finally, one of them noticed the boxer in the corner of the room. Veal explained what he was doing there. The financier countered that he too had a boxer in his entourage, whom he named. Veal laughed brazenly and exclaimed that his man could easily knock out their man. Conversation escalated into argument. In the heat of passion, Veal challenged the men to a bet. The financiers eagerly agreed and left to go get their man ready for a fight the next day. As soon as they left, the uncle yelled at Veal right in front of Gazelle. They did not have enough money to bet with, and one of the financiers discovered this. The uncle would be fired. And once the if I, okay, I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Veal apologized for getting him in this mess, but he had a plan. He knew the other boxer well, and with a little bribe, they could fix the fight. But where would the money come from for the bet? The uncle replied. Without it, they were as good as dead. Finally, Gazelle had heard enough. Unwilling to jeopardize his deal with any ill will, he offered his own $35,000 cash for part of the bet. Even if he lost that, he would wire for more money and still make a profit on the sale of the lodge. The uncle and the nephew thanked him. With their own 15,000 and Gazelle's 35,000, they would manage to have enough for the bet. That evening, as Gazelle watched the two boxers rehearse the fix in the hotel room, his mind reeled at the killing he was going to make from both the boxing match and the sale of the lodge. The fight took place in a gym the next day. Veal handled the cash, which was placed for security in a lockbox. Everything was proceeding as planned in the hotel room. The financiers were looking glum at how badly their fighter was doing, and Gazelle was dreaming about the easy money he was about to make. Then suddenly, a wild swing by the financier's fighter hit Gross hard in the face, knocking him down. When he hit the canvas, blood spurted from his mouth. He coughed, then lay still. One of the financiers, a former doctor,
Oh,
checked his pulse. He was dead.
oh, he got
Oh, he done
got that.
got he done got knocked to the
Oof.
dead. How you gonna get punched to the dead, bro? Like, protect your chin a little bit. The
Mm.
millionaires panicked. Everyone had to get out before the police arrived. They could all be charged with murder. Terrified, Gazelle hightailed it out of the gym and back to Chicago, leaving behind his $35,000, which he was only too glad to forget, for it seemed a small price to pay to avoid being implicated in a crime. He never wanted to see Veal or any of the others again. After Gazelle scurried out, Gross stood up under his own steam. The blood that had spurted from his mouth came from a ball filled with chicken blood and hot water that he had hidden in his cheek. The whole affair had been masterminded
Wow.
by Veal, better known as the Yellow Kid. one of the most creative con artists in history. Veal split the $35,000 with the financiers and the boxers, all fellow con artists. A nice little profit for a few days' work. Oh man, you got. That is how you completely mislead somebody right there. Yeah, I mean
Okay, that was
faking
a
dead,
lot.
faking dead. Like, well, the doctor and the fake dead guy, kind of everyone like, not my ass. I'd be like, what the fuck you mean he dead? He ain't even hit him that hard. I'll go over there and kick that dude square in the face, run off like a mark. God.
Hmm. But that's true. That was a true story.
Yeah, that is one of many true stories of the Yellow Kid. Like, uh, one of the most infamous con men in history. There are more so, but that was definitely like he was very good at the game, especially this concealing your intentions. That is how you con somebody. You make them believe one thing while you're secretly doing another. That's a
Well,
huge screen. Like
do you think you're being conned in any way in your life right now?
at this
God darn
exact
it.
moment, not particularly, but I mean,
This
we could
exact
go.
moment being like this point in history in your life,
hmm
or like right now. I
like
could be
right
conning
now,
you. What do you know? I'm so
you
good
could
at
be
concealing my
conning me. You
intentions.
are you're very good at
I am
concealing your
conning
intentions. You're 100% conning me. The divinity said is also a lie. We should get
you.
rid of it. Oh no, let's
I'm
keep
back.
it. Let's keep it. Let's keep the divinity said because we like her.
She
Good logic mini raid, which probably
Hey.
consists of just Judge Maddie. But you know
That's
what?
the best part of
I,
Good Logic's
I
chat.
mean, if I'm gonna get a mini raid out of Good Logic's chat, Judge Maddie is who I would want. If he brought uh Levy and Mama Don, that might be
Dope.
something too. But maybe they weren't
Wait,
at Good
okay,
Logic's.
hold on really quick. Let me just open
Yeah,
this.
better some raid than no raid.
Oh
Like,
my gosh, edit.
I
Let me
mean,
open this. Damn, look, Maddie's icon is different from Discord than it
I
is. Let me
told
show you
you. Yeah.
your screen real quick. But I could show him where he is
Yep.
right here.
Yep. There you are in this circle, sir.
But I wish I
That's
would have
you.
drawn this one that you have now. I kind of like the yellow. It would have looked cool on here. You know what I'm saying? But I also put
Yep.
Don and Levy
Mark
here
Sermon.
in the most, not like,
Libby and Don just in the circle together.
yeah, so cute.
Aww. Oh, they're adorable, aren't they?
Okay, I just wanted to show him that. Let's save it. Get back to what we were
Sup,
doing.
nerds?
Hey.
Welcome, Mark. I'm not sure if I've ever seen Mark Sermon here before, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw out the obligatory smash that like button and subscribe button. We are doing this 48 Laws of Power series amongst all the other crap I do on this channel. We have a lot of fun here. We either have fun doing nothing or we have fun doing absolutely something I feel important. I mean, whether you agree or not, it's definitely fun to talk about this kind of stuff. 48 Laws of Power is the current topic. Law 3, conceal your intentions.
That's where we're at.
SN broad? Like, I feel like there's always letters missing in these damn headers.
I
This, quote, this means to create a front that eventually becomes imbued with an atmosphere or impression of familiarity, within which the strategist may
May
move,
moose.
may move unseen while all eyes are trained to see obvious familiarities. If y'all don't know about the moose maneuver
And that was
because you're
really
new,
weird.
Then that was really weird, but it's an inside joke. The moose maneuver will get it.
Yeah.
The 36 strategies quoted in the Japanese Art of War, Thomas Cleary, 1991. Interpretation. This is the interpretation of that story we just heard about the yellow kid.
Mm.
Totally conning this dude all the way out of his socks. Like, the yellow kid has staked out Gazelle as the perfect sucker long before he set up the con. He knew the boxing match scam would be the perfect ruse to separate Gazelle from his money quickly and definitively, but he also knew that if he had begun by trying to interest Gazelle in the boxing match, he would have failed miserably. He had to conceal his intentions and switch attention, create a smokescreen, in this case, the sale of the lodge. On the I wonder if there was ever even actually a lodge at all.
No,
Like,
why
is
would
the
there
lodge
need
a
to be
lie?
one? Nah, yeah, the lodge is a lie. Lodge
Yeah,
is like not real.
everything seems like it's a lie in all of this stories.
Well, this one's deception, so
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be
On,
real.
on the train ride and in the hotel room, Gazelle's mind had been completely occupied with the pending deal, the easy money, the chance to hobnob with wealthy men. He had failed to notice that Gross was grossly out of
Oh,
shape and middle-aged at best. Such is the distracting power of a smokescreen. Engrossed in the business deal, Gazelle's attention was easily diverted to the boxing match, but only at a point when it was already too late for him to notice the details that would have given Gross away. The match, after all, now depended on a bribe rather than the boxer's physical condition, and Gazelle was so distracted at the end by the illusion of the boxer's death that he had completely forgot about his money. Learn from the yellow kid. The familiar, inconspicuous front is the perfect smokescreen. Approach your mark with an idea that seems ordinary enough. A business deal. Financial intrigue. The sucker's mind is distracted, his suspicions allayed. That is when you gently guide him onto the second path, the slippery slope down which he slides helplessly into your trap.
mm.
We had a whole nother observance of the law, which means we probably got like 15 transgressions of this law. Observance of the law 2.
Damn.
In the mid 1920s, the powerful warlords of Ethiopia were coming to the realization that a young man of the nobility named Haley, because that's a great name for a young man of the nobility, also known as Rastafari, was outcompeting them all and nearing the point where he could proclaim himself their leader, unifying the country for the first time in decades. Most of his rivals could not understand how this wispy, quiet, mild-mannered man had been able to take control. Yet in 1927, Selassie was able to summon the warlords one at a time to come to Addis Ababa,
Oh.
uh, Addis Ababa Bui, to declare their loyalty and recognize him as their leader. Some hurried, some hesitated, but only one, Dejazmak Balcha. We're just
Mm.
gonna call him Deja from here on
I like
out.
Balcha. Just kidding. Say what?
Balcha. We could call him Balcha of Sidami.
Wait,
Sidami.
whoa! It's no. Let's just go with the safe one.
Yeah, let's go with Balcha.
Yeah.
Dare defies Selassie totally. A blustery man, Balcha, that's what they're going with, so that's where we're going. Was a great warrior, and he considered the new leader weak and unworthy. He pointedly stayed away from the capital. Finally, Selassie, in his gentle but stern way, commanded Balcha to come. The warlord decided to obey, but in doing so he would turn the tables on this pretender to the Ethiopian throne. He
Darthy
would
Diaz.
come to Addis
Alert. Hate to
Ababa.
break. I hate to cut you off, but it is 9:20. It's 4:20 somewhere.
Oh, dear God. Sorry, y'all.
And chat was
Mhm.
Mickey said alert. That's nice. I hope somewhere Cat Ninja is. having great dreams that we just remembered this. Carry on, sir. Thank you,
A
Vicky.
hot dog
You're
is
really
not
amazing.
a sandwich, it's a taco.
We're gonna have a lot of conversations after this, guys. Please don't leave.
Yes. Please do not leave.
Are you concealing your intention? Is that a smoke screen? Do you actually want us to
Yes,
leave?
I just did a
I don't know
smoking.
what's happening.
No, I
I
just
don't know
did a
who to believe.
smoking screen
Oh
because my
shit, we did a
intentions.
smoke.
Yeah.
That's cute.
That was the most hilarious I've ever heard, guys. A taco is not a sandwich. A taco is not a sandwich. A taco is a taco.
A taco is yeah, there's no bread. I think bread is required for the sandwich.
Oh no, a hot dog is also a taco. And there's bread
A hot
on
dog
like
is
a hot dog.
a taco?
Have you ever seen a hot dog
What
bun?
makes
It's
a
a
taco a
taco
taco?
shell. It's the shape of the bread, the or the bread type
Okay.
product. Like a tortilla is bread. It's its own type of bread, but it's
Stop
still
it. It
bread.
is not. It's corn.
It's like, well, if you use
Own
corn
type of
tortillas like a
bread.
goddamn
Holy
dirty
shit.
heathen, but if you use flour tortillas like a normal person, it's basically just unleavened bread.
Oh my lord,
Get out of here. Get
you're
out of
gonna
here. You
pull a
don't know.
muscle. That's a stretch.
Uh, uh, he would come to Addis Ababa at his own speed and with an army of 10,000 men, a force large enough to defend himself, perhaps even start a civil war. Stationing this formidable force in a valley 3 miles from the capital, he waited, as a king would. Selassie would have to come to him. Selassie did indeed send emissaries asking Balcha to attend an afternoon banquet in his honor, but Balcha, no fool, knew history. He knew that previous kings and lords of Ethiopia had used banquets as a trap. Once he was there and full of drink, Selassie would have him arrested or murdered. To signal his understanding of the situation, he agreed to come to the banquet, but only if he could bring his personal bodyguard, 600 of his best. That's not a personal bodyguard. That's a personal army. 600 of his best
You
soldiers,
need
all armed
seal the
and
deal.
ready to defend him and themselves. To Balcha's surprise, Selassie answered with the utmost politeness that he would be honored to play host to such warriors.
Ooh,
Interesting. Very curious because
and
I
how
mean, there's a
dare.
bodyguard and like this motherfucker's got guards to make like the guardian of the president of the Secret Service. Like I'm pretty sure there's not even 600 Secret Service agents in the Secret Service.
I don't know. Allegedly. I'm not giving
If
away our
taco
secret.
isn't a sandwich, cereal is not soup. Dear, I'm gonna stop reading the chat. Damn it! Like, let me know if they say
Yeah.
anything that's not gonna melt my brain while I'm trying to read. Uh, but this is very curious that he would allow like 600 of this dude's guards to come along. Uh,
Oh,
on the
yeah,
way to the
Maddie, we used to do nuts for Christmas too all the time. I remember we even had to have a nutcracker for the different ones that would be in there. We should bring some of these traditions back. Like,
yeah,
our old Christmas songs don't even make a lot of sense anymore.
like
Like,
being like
chestnuts roasting on an open fire. I was like,
I
"Damn, we
mean,
should
bring back the tradition of making till death do us part mean something. How
relax. We're
about
gonna do
that?
Christmas first, and then we'll work on marriage."
Okay, fine. I mean, I don't really. I like all the Christmas traditions, so bring them all back.
You
Fuck it.
do 'em?
Uh, no, I don't do any of them, but I like them all.
Well,
I enjoy them.
well, it'll be
I
easy
just
to
hate
bring
all the.
back to your house. We'll start with Christmas lights.
Yeah, I mean, good luck with that.
Okay, let's go.
Who's gonna put up the lights though? It's not gonna be me.
Yeah, that's the problem. People are lazy. They don't realize
Hmm.
how much work our parents and our grandparents, especially my grandparents. Okay, both my grandparents died this year or this last year. And so I got my grandfather's Christmas tree that he's been putting up for so long. And when I freaking took that bitch out this year, I had to use a dolly, first of all, to get this giant thing out of my storage. And I bring it into the house. It took me forever to set up. And I was like, man, my grandfather did this every year by himself. Like,
Yep.
I never complained. He was never even complaining about it. He was so dope, and that's the kind of things we thought it must have been easy since they're not complaining, and then
Yeah,
we do it for a year and we're like,
they
"Fuck
use the
this."
smoke screen and deception to conceal their
Yeah. It's a
intentions.
wonder.
That shit was like the worst. So
Well,
we never learned like to value the the value of like doing the hard thing for its own sake. Like we spoiled as hell. Let's be real. Like they let us go on like believing that shit was all just it's all perfectly fine until we had to like find out life is actually a giant bitch. Your
They're having
grandpa
a little
played
bit of
you.
a Christmas.
You got log cod. Oh, have
No,
fun, dear.
my grandfather played well, he actually did it to my mom, and my mom I knew how much work it was because she made us unload the damn boxes. My mom is a psycho about decorating for Christmas. She took out every picture in the house, every single thing went away, and it turned into Christmas at our house. She would be like, "Get on your bike, go away," and we would come back, and she'd be like, "Now put all these boxes that way."
Hmm.
I'd come back, we leave on a regular house, come back to Christmas, and have to help her. So we knew there was a lot involved, but we never really had to do it. I
Yeah,
decorate a lot, but I just couldn't believe
I mean,
how much work
when
my
we
grandpa was still doing up until his 70s.
when we still did all the traditions and all the decorating and that, we all had to help because that shit for any one person is just way too much a lot. So like the whole family affair got involved for the better part of a weekend. Like we
Mm.
do the inside and then we do the outside. And eventually we realized that we could still have all the best traditions like Christmas morning mimosas and very absolutely non-traditional meals throughout the day. The decorations really didn't mean so much once we got older and drunker earlier in the day.
Mhm.
So it's like, yeah, what is the point? You got to spend 2 days putting them up,
See,
day
you
and a
young
half,
can't kill everything because 'cause they're lazy, they can just convince anybody not to do it.
taking them down, and who really cares? And it turned out nobody cared enough to keep doing it.
And then your neighbors stopped caring, and now everyone's just a
No, no,
dark
I mean, most of my neighbors are Mexicans, and they absolutely care. Like,
they
they're
do
very,
care? Oh, I love that.
they're very festive folk. I mean, their
Yeah.
favorite
I love
holiday
it
is the
for
4th of
Christmas.
July. Don't tell anybody.
Yours or theirs?
Theirs. It used to be mine until they all showed up.
Wow, I can't believe ever remember believing in Santa. And I
Mm,
had Clumsy's chat highlighted and I accidentally clicked away from it, but it said something
mm.
like she has a thing. Here it is. I have a thing for Santa, and this is actually true. The first time Clumsy and I met each other, I was dressed up as Santa, and I thought she
I
was joking that she had a thing for him, but she did. That's for real.
Yeah, that's 100% for real.
It's cute.
Uh, we've gotten way off topic.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Uh, it's fine, train derail sometimes.
Maybe don't do that too
I
extreme.
was gonna read this law, but I got high.
But yeah.
I was gonna explain this shit to y'all, but I got high. Now we're talking about Santa, and I know why. Why, man? Yeah, 'cause I got high. 'Cause I got high. 'Cause I
'Cause we
got
got
high.
sorry about that.
That was that was the secret thing that we do in the middle of the stream that we was warning them all about. We was gonna start making up
Cool thing was
parody songs.
is that Cat Ninja is our person for
Yes,
the 420s, right?
yes, our 420
And
alert
they
monitor.
yeah, and they said they were gonna be going to sleep.
Yeah,
And so
she did.
this time, Vicky was like Vicky on the ball and got it for us. When
Hmm.
Cat Ninja woke up, it's actually 4:20 in the UK. So
Yeah,
that's like perfection. We couldn't have planned that any better. I mean, we got too high, but
it happened.
let's
Anyway, on the way to the banquet, Balcha warned his soldiers not to get drunk and to be on their guard. When they arrived at the palace, Selassie was his charming best. He deferred to Balcha, treated him as if he desperately needed his approval and cooperation. But Balcha refused to be charmed, and he warned Selassie that if he did not return to his camp by nightfall, his army had orders to attack the capital. Selassie acted as if hurt by his mistrust. Over the meal, when it came time for the traditional singing of songs in honor of Ethiopia's leaders, he made a point of allowing only songs honoring the warlord of Sidamo. It seemed to Balta that Selassie was scared, intimidated by this great warrior who could not be outwitted. Sensing the change, Balta believed that he would be the one to call the shots in the days to come. At the end of the afternoon, Balta and his soldiers began their march back to camp amidst cheers and gun salutes. Looking back to the capital over his shoulder, he planned his strategy, how his own soldiers would march through the capital in triumph within weeks, and Selassie would be put in his place being either prison or getting the dead. When Balta came in sight of his camp, however, he saw that something was terribly wrong. Where before there had been colorful tents stretching as far as the eye could see, now there was nothing, only smoke from doused fires. What devil's magic was this? A witness told Balta what had happened. During the banquet, a large army, commanded by an ally of Selassie's, had stolen up on Balta's encampment by a side route he had not seen. This army had not come to fight, however. Knowing that Balta would have heard a noisy battle and hurried back with his 600-man bodyguard, Selassie had armed his own troops with baskets of gold and cash. They had surrounded Balta's army and proceeded to purchase every last one of their weapons. Those who refused were easily intimidated. Within a few hours, Balta's entire force had been disarmed and scattered in all directions.
Mm.
Realizing his danger, Balta had decided to march south with his 600 soldiers to regroup, but the same army that had disarmed his soldiers blocked his way. The other way out was to march on the capital, but Selassie had set a large army to defend it. Like a chess player, he had predicted Balta's moves and had checkmated him. For the first time in his life, Balta surrendered. To repent his sins of pride and ambition, he agreed to enter a monastery.
Mm.
He done fucked up. He got played.
Done. Riding dirty.
Yep.
Hmm.
Interpretation. Throughout Selassie's long reign, no one could quite figure him out. Ethiopians liked their leaders fierce, but Selassie, who wore the front of a gentle, peace-loving man, lasted longer than any of them. Never angry or impatient, he lured his victims with sweet smiles, lulling them with charm and God, obsequiousness before he attacked. In the case of Balcha, Selassie played on the man's wariness, his suspicion that the banquet was a trap, which in fact it was, but not the one he expected. Selassie's way of allaying Balcha's fears, letting him bring his bodyguard to the banquet, giving him top billing there, making him feel in control, created a thick smokescreen, concealing the real action 3 miles away. Remember, the paranoid and wary are often the easiest to deceive. Win their trust in one area and you have a smokescreen that blinds their view in another, letting you creep up and level them with a devastating blow. A helpful or apparently honest gesture, or one that implies the other person's superiority, these are perfect diversionary devices. Properly set up, the smokescreen is a weapon of great power. It enabled the gentle Selassie to totally destroy his enemy without firing a single bullet. Do not underestimate the power of Tafari. He creeps like a mouse, but he has jaws like a lion. Bacha of Sidamo's last words before entering the monastery.
Hmm.
Whoever did this had that damn autocorrect, like messing everything up. I mean, I give a lot of examples of how to do what people do not expect to mislead them away from what you're actually trying to do. What's next? The keys to power. These seem pretty damn obvious, don't they? On this one.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really think.
If you believe that deceivers are colorful folk who mislead with elaborate lies and tall tales, you are greatly mistaken. The best deceivers utilize a bland and inconspicuous front that calls no attention to themselves. They know that extravagant words and gestures immediately raise suspicion. Instead, they envelop their mark in the familiar, the banal, the harmless. I mean, there are deceivers and then there are great deceivers, but people still believe this fucking colorful fool with their elaborate lies and tall tales. We've seen that happen. So,
Mhm.
in Yellow Kid Veal's dealing with Sam Gazelle, the familiar was a business deal. In the Ethiopian case, it was Seleucid's misleading. Ah, God, why did you use this word again? Obsequiousness? Exactly what Balcha would have expected from a weaker warlord. Once you have lulled your sucker's attention with the familiar, they will not notice the deception being perpetrated behind their backs. This derives from a simple truth. People can only focus on one thing at a time.
Mhm.
It is really too difficult for them to imagine that the bland and harmless person they are dealing with is simultaneously setting up something else. The grayer and more uniform the smoke in your smoke screen, the better it conceals your intentions. In the decoy and red herring devices discussed in Part 1, you actively distract people. In the smoke screen, you lull your victims. There we go. That is the difference right there.
Mhm.
Drawing them into your web because it is so hypnotic. This is often the best way of concealing your intentions. The simplest form of smokescreen is facial expression. Behind a bland, unreadable exterior, all sorts of mayhem can be planned without detection. This is a weapon that the most powerful men in history have learned to perfect. It was said that no one could read Franklin D. Roosevelt's face. Baron James Rothschild made a lifelong practice of disguising his real thoughts behind bland smiles and nondescript looks. Stendhal wrote of Talleyrand, "Never was a face less of a barometer." Henry Kissinger would bore his opponents around the negotiating table to tears with his monotonous voice, his blank look, his endless recitations of details. Then, as their eyes glazed over, he would suddenly hit them with a list of bold terms. Caught off guard, they would be easily intimidated. As one poker manual explains it, while playing his hand, the good player is seldom an actor. Instead, he practices a bland behavior that minimizes readable patterns, frustrates and confuses opponents, permits greater concentration. An adaptable concept, the smokescreen can be practiced on a number of levels, all playing on the psychological principles of distraction and misdirection. One of the most effective smokescreens is the noble gesture. People want to believe apparently noble gestures are genuine, for the belief is pleasant. They rarely notice how deceptive these gestures can be. The art dealer Joseph Duveen was once confronted with a terrible problem. The millionaires who had paid so dearly for Duveen's paintings were running out of wall space, and with inheritance taxes getting ever higher, it seemed unlikely that they would keep buying. The solution was the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C., which Duveen helped create in 1937 by getting Andrew Mellon to donate his collection to it. The National Gallery was the perfect front for Devine. In one gesture, his clients avoided taxes, cleared wall space for new purchases, and reduced the number of paintings on the market, maintaining the upward pressure on their prices. All this while the donors created the appearance of being public benefactors. That's
Mm.
brilliant.
Mhm.
We're gonna do it for charity, y'all. Another
Have
effect.
you wait, hold on.
Hmm,
Have you
go
ever
ahead.
had a strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper?
No.
Oh my god, so good. You should try it one
Oh,
day.
mm,
It's kinda surprising that those flavors aren't already in here, but they must have kicked them up a notch for this.
I mean, I feel like in the cherry Dr. Pepper, that's like the
No.
fundamental
No.
flavor of Dr. Pepper. So,
Strawberries.
yeah, strawberry and cream, you said, I believe.
Mhm. Mhm. Yum, it's so good. Okay, let's go.
I mean, there's 23 flavors in that shit. I'm pretty sure they're both in there. Another effective smokescreen is the pattern. The establishment of a series of actions that seduce the victim into believing you will continue in the same way. The pattern plays on the psychology of anticipation. Our behavior conforms to patterns, or so we like to think. In 1878, the American robber baron Jay Gould created a company that began to threaten the monopoly of the telegraph company Western Union. The directors of Western Union decided to buy Gould's company up. They had to spend a hefty sum, but they figured they had managed to rid themselves of an irritating competitor. A few months later, though, Gould was at it again, complaining he had been treated unfairly. He started up a second company to compete with Western Union and its new ac- acquisition. The same thing happened again. Western Union bought him out to shut him up. Soon the pattern began for the third time, but now Gould went for the jugular. He suddenly staged a bloody takeover struggle and managed to gain complete control of Western Union. He had established a pattern that had tricked the company's directors into thinking his goal was to be bought out at a handsome rate. Once they paid him off, they relaxed and failed to notice he was actually playing for higher stakes. The pattern is powerful in that it deceives the other person into expecting the opposite of what you are really doing.
Mm.
Another psychological weakness on which to construct a smokescreen is the tendency to mistake appearances for reality. The feeling that if someone seems to belong to your group, their belonging must be real. I mean, I kind of want to go back to this, like, patterns. Anyone got any thoughts on patterns? Because the pattern thing is fascinating if you're being conned. Uh,
Um, LA Grenade said it's classic conditioning.
yeah,
Classical conditioning.
yeah. I mean, pattern conditioning. You always know what to expect until someone absolutely switches it up on you, and that's oh god, that sucks when that happens. Because it really does throw you for a loop, especially if you
What's it?
spent a long time recognizing a pattern.
It's time. The alarm is going off for his dog lick the to get a drink of water. What's Mike Gohagan saying in right here?
I don't speak hieroglyphics.
Okay, let's go.
I feel like this is a game though. I'm pretty sure I saw this game on the App Store once.
Guess the thing.
Uh,
Guess
they would
the
say
word.
something in emoji and you had to guess what the hell it was supposed to be. It's like Pictionary, only emoji based.
Dog. Dog. Lick the bell. I think he's telling you to lick the bell and turn on the
Yeah,
notification. Make
yeah.
sure
Turn on the
that's
notifications, smash that like button,
your
and
alert.
lick the bell. Like, pretty sure that's a
Yeah.
thing. If you
Slob the
haven't done
bell.
it already.
Slob the Bell, that's my new favorite.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh,
Oh, there it is.
yeah. That is a damn good example of how this works on an extremely fundamental level. I'm not going to get into all the psychology of Pavlov's dog because human
Pavlov's.
beings are not dogs. We're much stupider than that.
Nuh-uh.
Well, I'm not talking about your dogs. I'm talking about like real dogs. Not talking about my dogs either. Talking about real dogs. My dogs are idiots. Yep.
Are you fine? Are you fine with moving past patterns?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we got probably more to read still. It seems like this shit's going on. Another psychological weakness on which to construct a smokescreen is the tendency to mistake appearances for reality. The feeling that if someone seems to belong to your group, their belonging must be real. Wait a minute.
Wait, did we
Who
read
in.
this? No.
No, I'm pretty sure we didn't because I would have said who in the room is the Fed. If you're the Fed, come on out and we. I mean, I don't. Stop right there and we'll shoot you.
What?
Don't you mean or we'll shoot you? Oh, we know what we said. This habit makes a seamless blend a very effective front. The trick is simple. You simply blend in with those around you. The better you blend, the less suspicious you become. During the Cold War of the 1950s and 60s, as is now notorious, a slew of British civil servants passed secrets to the Soviets. They went undetected for years because they were apparently decent chaps, had gone to all the right schools, and fit the old boy network perfectly. Blending in is the perfect smokescreen for spying. The better you do it, the better you can conceal your intentions. Remember, it takes patience and humility to dull your brilliant colors, to put on the mask of the inconspicuous. Do not despair at having to wear such a bland mask. It is often your unreadability that draws people to you and makes you appear a person of power.
Mm.
Image. A sheepskin. A sheep never marauds. A sheep never deceives. A sheep is magnificently dumb and docile.
Mm.
With a sheepskin on his back, a fox can pass right into the chicken coop. Authority. Have you ever heard of a skillful general who intends to surprise the citadel, announcing his plans to his enemy? Conceal your purpose and hide your progress. Do not disclose the extent of your designs until they cannot be opposed, until the combat is over. Win the victory before you declare the war. In a word, imitate those warlike people whose designs are not known except by the ravaged country through which they have passed. That was Ninon from our story earlier with the Marquis who couldn't keep his emotions in his pants.
That was him? Oh, that
Yeah,
was too bad.
that was
Ninan
too
was
bad.
the person that was trying to help him?
Yeah, that was the lady that was trying to teach him how to seduce because she had been with all the best of them. Boys, what are you gonna do? Reversal. No smokescreen, red herring, false sincerity, or any other diversionary device will succeed in concealing your intentions if you already have an
Mm.
established reputation for deception. As you get older and achieve success, it often becomes increasingly difficult to disguise your cunning. Everyone knows you practice deception. Persist in playing naive and you run the risk of seeming the rankest hypocrite, which will severely limit your room to move maneuver. In such cases, it is better to own up, to appear the honest rogue, or better, the repentant rogue. Not only will you be admired for your frankness, but most wonderful and strange of all, you will be able to continue your stratagems. As P. T. Barnum, the 19th century king of humbuggery, grew older, he learned to embrace his reputation as a grand deceiver. At one point, he organized a buffalo hunt in New Jersey, complete with Indians and a few imported buffalo. He publicized the hunt as genuine, but it came off as so completely fake that the crowd, instead of getting angry and asking for their money back, was greatly amused. They knew Barnum pulling tricks all the time. That was the secret of his success, and they loved him for it. Learning a lesson from this affair, Barnum stopped concealing all of his devices, even revealing his deceptions in the tell-all autobiography. As Kierkegaard wrote, "The world wants to be deceived." They really do. Like
They
people
I know.
don't people don't like honesty. I know this because I'm around a lot of really honest people, and I don't like it. It's gay.
Aw. Change the truth. Change your truth. And Darth was the Fed, according to Moose. What?
No, Moose is the
Oh,
fucking
Moose
Fed.
is the everyone knows Moose is the Fed.
Yeah,
That's me.
Moose is the Fed. Like Moose showed up exactly when a Fed would arrive, and he shows up everywhere now. Like damn, like he glows in the fucking dark. You know, honesty equals being a hater.
Girl.
But if you do have
Mhm.
a very patented reputation for being dishonest and deceptive, like being forthright and forthcoming is actually super
The
beneficial.
deception. Mhm.
Finally, although it is wiser to divert attention from your purposes by presenting a bland, familiar exterior, there are times when the colorful, conspicuous gesture is the right diversionary tactic. The great charlatan mountebanks of seventeenth and eighteenth century Europe used humor and entertainment to deceive their audiences. Dazzled by a great show, the public would not notice the charlatan's real intentions. Thus the starry charlatan himself would appear in town in a night black coach drawn by black horses. Clowns, tightrope walkers, and star entertainers would accompany him, pulling people into his demonstrations of elixirs and quack potions. The charlatan made entertainment seem like the business of the day. The business of the day was actually the sale of the elixirs and quack potions. Spectacle and entertainment, clearly, are excellent devices to conceal your intentions, but they cannot be used indefinitely. The public grows tired and suspicious, and eventually catches on to the trick. And indeed the charlatans had to move quickly from town to town before word spread that the potions were useless and the entertainment a trick. Powerful people with bland exteriors, on the other hand, the Talleyrand and the Rothschilds and the Sullies, can practice their deceptions in the same place throughout their lifetimes. Their act never wears thin and rarely causes suspicion. The colorful smokescreen should be used cautiously then and only when the occasion is right. I think that's it for Law 3.
Wow, it just ended like that? Hell yeah. That
I
was
mean,
2
that
hours.
was the reversal.
Mhm.
Yeah, this
In
was a
the river.
long one, y'all. A long one with not too much to
It's pretty easy
see
to
you in the
understand.
morning. Good night, cool frog.
Night party.
Uh,
Okay, so full disclosure, I forgot to hit the like button, so please
oh,
check. Maybe I'll do this.
yeah, like, please with the like button. I'd appreciate it. It's, I don't think I'm trying to ask too much, my darlings. Oh, we got 20 on the like button, 22 on the like button. That is awesome. You guys are
What if they
dope.
don't like it? Maybe you could
I
share
mean,
it
if they
out and say,
don't like it,
"Go watch
if
this
they don't
crap."
like it, they can go ahead and, I mean, smash the
Share
dislike.
it
Don't
out.
share it.
Share it out and share
I
it nice.
mean,
Yeah, no. Share it on your Twitter and say, "These guys don't know what the hell they're doing."
put put
Get
it
that.
also down in the comment section so that it can be forever immortalized to everybody who ever sees this in the history of all the replays that you were not a fan of concealing your intentions.
Yeah, you
Just
tell us the truth down there.
you tell us the truth. Yeah, don't conceal any of your intentions. Just
Yeah.
if you don't, if you are a fan of concealing your intentions, maybe tell us something
Let 'em
else.
We won't believe you in the comments, in other words, no matter what. Maybe I'm just saying that to conceal my intentions, to believe you.
Hmm.
Like it always, because why the not? Okay, yeah. Some
Yeah,
people, they don't like, to start a video, like, to when they say, "Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hopefully you like and subscribe." It's like, "Well, I haven't really given me a reason to like this video yet. Just because I'm
yeah,
subscribed doesn't mean I like every video."
yeah. I
I'm
mean,
like, "Oh, I need
sometimes
your
people just
analytics
make
to
a
show
video
that
that
I
you
don't like
don't like.
yeah, you have
Yeah.
my watch time and my all of that, but maybe I won't like it because I want you never to do a video like that again."
I mean, that's how you let your creators know, like,
Yeah.
what the audience appreciates and what maybe they're not so interested in. I feel like, because why not? Divinity's link is in the description box. You know what? Like, Cool Frog, drop a link to Cool Frog, because subscribe to Cool Frog, because why the fuck not?
The French term for paperclip is trombone? Hmm.
Paper clips. I'm gonna go play with my trombone. That just sounds dirty, no
Whoa.
matter how you slice it.
It didn't sound dirty until you said that.
Hmm.
A trombone?
I mean, maybe clean a
Your
bowl with a paper clip.
paperclip?
My paper clip. Shit. Oh, we gotta leave now. This has gotten awkward. Bye, everybody. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Oh,
didn't you want to talk about Christmas cookies? Do at least do that.
no.
Like shaped cookies that you make into little
No.
stockings.
None of,
Yeah. When you were little, did
not,
you?
yeah. Then I
Okay.
realized that those cookies are gross, and now I
What?
do get 3 dozen homemade chocolate chip cookies from me ma'am every year. At Christmas time, those are the Christmas cookies. They're just homemade chocolate chip cookies. One year, there was a lot of extra butter that my aunt had left over, and my pops got a hold of some, and 2 dozen of my 3 dozen Christmas cookies were very fucking heavy. Oh,
Hmm.
damn. Those were some, like, only eat half of this, trust me. And people be like, yeah, whatever. And then they just eat the
Well,
whole thing. It's like,
I
3 dozen a year is it's nothing. It's practically no cookies at all. And it's Christmas time. I can put on 5, 10 pounds, whatever. Just call me a fatty. Call me a fatty like I weigh over 160 pounds. Jesus. I might actually. I don't know. The battery in my scale died and I haven't replaced it. Stupid digital scale anyway.
I wish Nene wouldn't do this. Just
Uh,
do all your comments. Tell us about the paperclip,
oh
not
yes,
every
you're definitely not supposed to be good and leave your comments in your head in my chat. Like,
do it.
We run the risk of having a nuclear war with YouTube at almost all points in time. So, yeah, just go ahead and say all the
Is it
things. Just don't
nuclear or
say
nuclear?
mm, nuclear.
Oh yeah, because there's not enough nuclear.
Yeah,
Nu- yeah, nuclear,
nuclear. Yeah.
not
Oh, hey,
nuclear.
Libby. You just
Hey,
missed
hey,
you
you know what,
just
Libby?
go
I didn't
ahead.
want to interrupt. I was gonna tell him that you picked him for your super panel.
I
Him
mean, I
and
picked it
Maddie
for the
on.
yeah, Libby, Maddie, and Don. We can tell the stories of the old days of autism.
Yeah,
The
so funny.
gayest topic with the dopest panel. No, I think we would
Yeah,
actually have to talk about something else because this is a pretty dope panel of my friends.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, and we would have to find something better to talk about. But I feel like they're all still a part of like the autism, and
Yeah, that would.
I've kind of left that all behind, and now
Have
I
you?
do. I can't remember the last time I watched any of the lawyers that I'm subscribed to still. And
Yeah,
I'm
when
not
a new case
subscribed to
up,
hardly
maybe.
anyone anymore.
Like if a good case came up, you probably would be interested in it, do you think?
I mean, there is a possibility. Like, some of this shit is fascinating, and when there's a good case, and or there's like really good lawyering, I mean, I can't pull T3 or Cool Frog or Divinity for my super panel because that's literally my always panel.
We
Like, these are
limited the
my
panel to 4,
Yeah, we limited the panel to
and it
just three plus the host, and
got
it's got to
love
be
back.
people that we don't stream with like several days a week. It's not a like personal like my panel that I would like to stream with every day would be like T3,
Oh,
Cool
yeah.
Frog, Divinity, and
Yeah,
myself. Like I think that would be the
if I
best.
could have a little button that brought, talking trash and truths in whenever I wanted, that would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Unfortunately, Shelly couldn't handle that, and we would break
Well,
her.
it's not about that, it's about being the it's just for funsies.
Yeah. Like you can bring her in whenever you want to, but she can only stay 5 minutes at a time, or however long she
Oh,
decides. But like, it'd be funny if she just disappeared after 5 minutes. In
yeah.
certain circumstances, it would. Yes, Jujubee has the way of it. When we came up with the super panel idea during the Dark Side show earlier, uh, you have to mix up your panel, like a panel that you wouldn't normally regularly do. So yeah, T3 Frog and Div are my favorite people to stream with. I like streaming with the Moose and Maneuver. I love streaming with Miss Jujubee, Miss Vicky T. I got to stream with Little Mousy Girl today. That was
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
pretty
Well, I
dope.
picked Grimmy because I barely ever see him, and he could talk
Yeah.
about almost everything. I picked Shizzy because obviously,
Mhm.
and then I picked a random flat earther from my
Mhm.
flat earth server. So I reserved my 4th spot, but then I think I need another spot, and I can't
You
remember who
don't.
I picked for.
Yeah, I was about to say you only get 3 spots plus you. You're the
No,
fourth.
well, you know,
You can't opt yourself out of the whole show and
no, I
call it
wanna be
your panel.
there.
No,
I
that's
just
not how
feel
that
like
works.
Winning and Madcore both, like, they fucking hate flat earth. They hate
Hmm.
them. They, like, get so angry, it's kind of hilarious, so I sorta
Yeah.
want one of them on to re-out. It'll be so
Yeah.
funny.
I mean, you're looking at breaking all the rules. Damn it.
Okay, well, maybe not Shizzy then. Maybe we bring Shizzy after one of them rage quits.
Yeah.
Bam, there's my pen.
There we go. Okay. Damn, I haven't picked an alternate in case. I don't think anybody on my panel, if I were to do a show with Leby, Maddie, and Don, I don't think anybody would rage quit. And if somebody does rage quit, it's gonna be me.
Totally.
Levy will
They
just
start
say something. I'll be like, "Shut up, Levy."
like farm animals. You're out. I
So yeah, we don't need
think.
this anymore because this is over. Oh wait, we need this still. Hold
For
on.
next for tomorrow's. Dun dun
So
dun.
the next stream, and I'm not promising anything tomorrow because I'm gonna
Mhm.
do. Well, I'm gonna bring Philosophy Friday back after work if it's not raining, but I'll do it earlier in the day if it is raining tomorrow. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Ooh, that
Ooh,
sounds fun.
I learned that.
Ominous. Should I read the actual judgment of the law, or should I? Yeah, just save
You
that.
sure? Okay, yeah,
Let's
go.
just save that. If y'all want to find this PDF with its very shady typos and somewhat headed line or headers of gibberish in it, it's not hard to find. Just in your search bar, 48 Laws of Power PDF, and it'll be the one at us.archive.org. This is the exact same one I used. You would not rage quit. You're the soulless ginger.
Hey,
Hi, Mama Don. I'm always the one that rage quits. Don't ever pretend that I'm not. Like,
she's gonna rage
I'm,
quit about rage quitting.
yeah, I mean, I'd be
She
the one
might
to
own
rage
you.
quit, though. Hmm. Is that Divinity holding up a picture of Divinity?
It's a filter.
I
Thanks,
love
thanks.
that face. That
How
is
I
a
feel about
face.
YouTube jail.
That is a
I'm
face
about
that
to get out.
only
About to
everyone
get
could
all
love.
out of the slammer tomorrow, and I got a hitman who wants to talk to somebody.
Oh
And
damn! The YouTube Slammer is about to release Divinity said on
I
the
met a
world,
guy. I met
and
a guy last
hell
night.
hath no fury like a scissor finger scorned. Snip, 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 snip. So yeah, look forward to the 10th day of our great friend Divinity's requirement for notification of legal action before the sketchy at best
It's
DMCA
checked.
claims are all overturned. And then we'll see what happens next. But stay tuned. Div's link down in the description box if you're not subscribed to her already. What? I mean,
What?
granted, she destroyed her entire channel and now doesn't even have any videos no more. But some more are coming. As soon as she had a clip, jail. Yes,
I do what I
scissoring
want.
Maddie. That is exactly what I said, isn't it?
Mhm.
I can't wait till your channel comes
Hey,
back and we get to
dude, I went to
do the
what do
party
we
live stream.
yeah. Wait, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay, shit,
17th.
I need some green beer.
Well, technically it's today for me, so fucked. Oh wait, I'm
No.
wearing green above our heads and below us with the
Does it count if you have green eyes? No,
no,
wearing green, not
absolutely,
being green.
absolutely not. Like
Uh, I don't feel like
if you,
abso-fucking-ly not is that's a little
I,
extreme.
I will say this though. If you have like gray eyes and you're wearing green contacts, count.
Oh,
'Cause
well,
if the
then my
contacts turn
deception
your eyes
said I
green,
have
do
contacts.
what? Do what?
I'm gonna use deception and a smokescreen and say that these are contacts so I could win the St. Patrick's Day power game.
Is Darth ending Who is live now? I don't know who's live at 1 a.m. anymore because Cool Frog doesn't do his show at midnight anymore.
Are you
So
ending?
I'm not ending at this exact second, but I was just adding or addressing Judge Maddie's question. I don't know
Oh.
who's live now. I will be ending shortly because, if I do have to work tomorrow and it's not raining, sleep is a thing that's definitely paramount to my ability to get through the day tomorrow and still come back and stream for y'all. So, gots to do the responsible adult stuff. Ain't 20 no more.
Mm, boring.
Juju just looked and is subscribed to all the same stuff that I'm subscribed to. Couldn't find anyone live. And Clumsy don't usually go live till somewhere between 2:30 and 3. Lately, it's been closer to 3 every time.
3 in the
3
morning? Oh, your morning. That's
my time.
midnight for me.
Yeah,
God damn.
that's midnight for you. Huh?
It's worth
No,
it for.
I mean, we are getting towards the end of it, Maddie. You're not completely misunderstood. I'm just not ready to say goodnight just yet. Like, I love hanging out with chat. And
Mm.
Div is also favorite person to be hanging out with on panel. Sorry to everybody else who's my favorites, but this is my favorite.
I'm pretty
We love y'all,
sure.
though.
Let me show Dawn my picture of her and her dude.
Oh, Mama Don and Libby get to see themselves drawn into the YouTube family tree.
I mean, let me see her picture again. Oh
Uh,
yeah, I could never draw that anyways. Good.
yeah, you could.
Did I share it? I could
That,
not.
that is a smile with a chin and some ginger hair. Like, you telling me that you can do Judge
Okay.
Maddie, but you can't do Mama Don? Child, please, you're bullshitting a bullshitter right now. Prove
Okay, from far
yourself
away.
wrong. Prove
Hi.
yourself wrong. Draw the thing. I'll bring it back up so it's easier to see. And then we gotta get Libby.
His is
Uh,
probably way too hard.
Charlemagne doesn't realize that she was the first one in this picture out of all these folkin.
She doesn't know she's there?
Yeah, she said, and me too. I mean, if you
Oh
want
my
to draw her
god.
in,
She's over here. I will
yeah.
draw you in better, but you are right here.
It
Shy.
just says hottie
I
and
was
shy
like, I remember
across
what
the
she
top.
looks like, but my brain was like, all I
She
could
hot.
think of was Patty, so that's how
Yeah,
it went
she's
down.
hot. So that's how you got immortalized in this
I feel like
forever.
I
It
could
was,
totally draw her though with the glasses.
yeah.
I should done better. Could you put Dawn back up?
Don. Oh yeah, I can put Don back up. No problem. Uh, maybe no problem.
She probably just has eyes. Oh wait, she doesn't.
No eye.
So
It's just hair over top of eye and smile. Like, so easy.
oh dude, she is even hot in this.
Yeah.
Thank you for
I
making
mean,
me do that.
uh, Libby a
Smash.
lucky dude. Libby a lucky dude. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Like, speaking of
Look, it's
Libby,
cake or death. I really like this one.
yeah, Cake or Death is actually the best one.
No, Cat Ninja is pretty dope.
A Cat Ninja is pretty dope. Nyx is pretty dope too. Like, I think he
Yeah.
nailed it with Nyx perfectly.
Winnings is actually perfect.
Yes, Winnings is actually perfect. So is Malloy.
Malloy, yeah, Malloy is
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh,
Anybody, if I've drawn you in this picture and you do not have your bong, then let me know, please, and I will give it to you.
right.
I didn't want to wrongly assume. Oh, look, I put a little rumble symbol next to PB so that
If PB
you
ever
know.
shows up on YouTube to see any of these, uh,
Like,
that's savage.
I mean, that's what's happening here. You just can't
Uh,
tell. See the
yeah,
hearts?
yeah.
That's how we do it.
Can you draw Libby? Can you draw Charlemagne? I feel like Charlemagne's got to stay immortalized as just being hottie over there because she's low key shy, man. Not low key, it's actually very high key shy. Won't come on my panel because it
She
is
won't.
too shy. No, I asked
Aw.
her.
She said she
She's
would
too
get into
shy.
a minivan or a van as a kid, and her brothers had to save her. She's not shy. She just doesn't want to be here with us. Give her the
She's
link.
just. I
Guilter.
mean, I feel like if I'm gonna do that, I'm not gonna do that right at the end of a show. I'm gonna do it definitely in the beginning. Oh, look at that. Mama Dawn with
Aw.
the triple purple heart for Divinita. Ah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like we can all see that, Libby, and I know she doesn't actually love me bringing up her chats that much, but yeah, she's a hottie though. I don't know why you're nervous to come hang out with us,
What were you gonna
yuckers. Like we just fucking
yuck?
around up here.
Oh, uh,
I was trying. I was. There's a word I was looking for. I lost it. I had it for a
that's
second.
what you came up with?
Yeah, I don't know. I
We're
fail
not that.
sometimes. Yeah, we're definitely not that. Like,
That's a smiling person. I'm gonna work on this. Uh, all right. Well, this is why I didn't try to draw this one.
oh, Jacob Castro is
What is that? A
actually
pumpkin?
actually part of my YouTube family. Like, I started messing with this dude on Cicadas, and I was like, actually fucking hilarious. No, I'm pretty sure that is a chimpanzee face in shadow.
Ugh.
It might be a pumpkin. I'm not sure. Like, I can't quite tell. It could be both, like a jack o' lantern. I feel like it should just be a jack o' lantern. Yeah, Jacob Castro, listen to Mr. Liebgott. You too, Juju the Bee. Listen to Mr. Liebgott. Get on the freaking Discord. Yeah, you are very late. I should make you a mod.
I'm
I should
making him
I should
be.
enshrine your gay forever. Oh, look at that. That is your new icon in the family portrait, Jacob. I, I hope you enjoy it. Jake Castro.
Oh
Uh,
wait.
every time, every time see Jacob Castro, I just think Fidel. And I was like, damn commie swan, even though I'm fairly certain he's not related to Fidel Castro at all whatsoever. But
I
damn
think
having to share a name with that guy. Fuck. That's like almost having your actual name be Brandon. Sounds
is that your
terrible.
name? That's cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, it kind of is. I'll check out Discord. Been busy AF. I mean, dude, once you go down the Discord rabbit hole, you never come back. So make sure you be careful down there.
Yeah, watch your
It's
steps.
it's a lot of fun.
You think Toy
Like,
Box is a lot in this chat?
oh dear God,
It's
gay.
there are levels.
Well, Jacob Castro cannot be offended. Like he is of the Ricada ilk.
Juju upper left.
So what?
Oh, looking for Ollie. Let's look for her. She's up here. She's actually, oh shit, I'm glad you said this because last night I took the time to give you tattoos.
Oh,
How do
Olive
you like that?
Grenade, you are tatted up in the family portrait.
Yeah. After we ended our show last night, I cleaned up a little bit of this.
Yeah, Divinity did some editing on the family portrait last night off camera, and that was the worst thing ever. This always has to be done only with the YouTube family watching, or at least able to see it at some point if they check out the replay if they're not here. But yeah,
Shiloh, they're talking about in chat. They're talking about, she said, I'll practice on Discord. I feel like I speak in bullet points, tweet size sentences. But I spoke with Shiloh on the other day. I don't know, it was a few days ago, and
no,
quickly became one of my favorite people. I was like, holy shit, this chick is rad,
absolutely. She
super rad.
does hang out and do Discord voice chats, so I don't know why she would be
That's what
worried
she's
about
saying. She's practicing
being on
now.
live stream. She is absolutely like the coolest. One of my favorites to talk to in the Discord chats. Uh, this guy right here got a server himself, and occasionally him and Mama Don be doing a game night over there. And
Really?
yeah, occasionally. I don't know.
Invite us.
Was I not supposed
We'll
to expose Libby to the whole world? I feel like I just snitched. I
Is
feel like I just huge snitched on Libby's whole shit. My
you
bad.
claim Yeah, now we know.
Damn
Now you
it.
have to
Now I have to end the stream and go ahead and edit that last 5 minutes out.
Oh, no, not that. What have I done? Okay, well, I feel like that's it.
Is that it?
There's Daisy Girl and Tweety, US Tweety News.
Yep, Tweety US News is in the mix. Okay, well,
So it
it's
is.
20 after 1 in the morning, and I am actually getting kind of tired, so all y'all who came, who stayed for the whole third law, y'all are the
You're the
dope. Y'all are the real ones. All y'all who showed up late, y'all are dope too. Like, thank you all for coming. Good Lord willing and the creek don't rise, we will be back tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern Time for Law 4, which was, I don't know, always say less than necessary. Man, I should have just said Law 4. What the fuck am I shouldn't have even said anything. I said, just come back tomorrow, 11 o'clock.
We
Smash
said
that
it
like,
wasn't
it might
because
not be,
yeah, so we'll just do
but I don't, I think, yeah, like, y'all,
you guys.
more likely than not, so more likely than
Everyone
not.
go to Discord and let's play
Yeah.
games
Yeah,
right now.
everybody in the Discord, everyone to frogs. Come on. Games and frogs. I'll even come hang out for a little bit before I pass out, but I probably
This
won't play, so
You're not gonna go to sleep then.
I might.
You're not.
You just never know.
No.
There you go, everybody. Good night, sleep well, and if y'all want to check out one of the funnest tarot streams that I've ever seen, probably my, I don't know, like they're both a lot of fun, Shelly and Clumsy, but Clumsy's chat gets a little wild, y'all. Not wild in the way you would expect. You're very welcome, Heidi. It's good to see you.
You're welcome.
But
Thanks for
yeah,
hanging out with
I think for sure, like I'd really like to do it again tomorrow if possible, and I think it should be possible. So y'all will know probably by 9 p.m. if there's a stream set up for 11, and if there's not by 9 p.m., probably shouldn't expect one. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, and then probably not at all on the weekend. We'll start again on Monday.
I
That's
mean,
fine
for
for
the
me.
48 laws, yeah, I think the weekend is probably going to be off for the 48 laws, and we'll just do it Monday through Friday and do other
Wait,
stuff on the weekend.
look what Oleg Grenade said. Leaving
Hmm.
comments of 5 words or more help the algorithm. I didn't
Hmm.
know that.
Yeah.
Algorithms. That's cute.
Yeah.
But no, that's for real. So if you just said great show, it wouldn't help. Just 2-word comment.
I mean, the algorithm likes it more when people actually leave like engaged comments. So sometimes I just writing this long comment so that I can fool the algorithm into thinking I actually have something to say about this when I don't. And that's sometimes what I'll leave in people's comment section if I really was on their live stream and said all the things that I had to say about it. Uh, if, but I can't because I fucking work in the morning time. So I can't just be the nighttime alternative to Nick Ricada, but I wish I could. If I had that million subscribers that I was looking for and I could monetize this bullshit,
No, I think 40,000 would probably replace your job.
I mean, but why 40,000 when 400,000? And why 400,000 when a
I'm just
million?
saying.
Like,
You're
I'm
right.
pretty sure I'm going to get that million before the end of the year because you spoke it into existence. And now everyone is going to go tell everyone they know that Darth Sidious is actually going to start coming harder and harder with the channel. The more people come here, like, it's going to make me step up my game because why would I want to, like, continue being me when I'm in the spotlight and like very super famous and all that stuff. Yeah. Conceal my intentions. Get it to 1,000,000 subs. Get me to forty
But
thousand
all
subs and I'll stream every night. Like, get me to 4,000 subs and I'll stream every night. I almost already do anyway. So,
you
yep,
hear
that is
that?
a new record. 158.
Hey, your account went up. Yeah, well, it unsubbed me. So, hey guys, just before
Yeah,
you leave or on your way out, make sure that you're subbed. I was
yeah,
literally on this stream last night,
yep,
and at some point between then, it could have happened then because I'm not sure that I checked. But and the today when I went to look for this one, I think to share, I don't remember why I was looking at it. Uh, I was
yeah,
unsubbed,
yep,
so that's trash.
yep.
Did you have fun tonight, Mr. Hideous?
Oh, I had a blast. These are becoming more and more fun the more and more we get through because there's gonna come to a point where it's like laws are gonna be callbacks to other laws, like a good rule of concealing your intention, or a good way of never outshining the master is to always conceal your intentions. And like Law 3 calls back to Law 1, and oh dear, just like the amount of rabbit holes we can go down with all of these once we're through them. We could
Mm.
keep talking about this for probably long after the book is over, but we'll see how that goes.
It's gonna be a
See if
power
that's,
struggle forever. It's me, you,
hmm
and chat. We're never gonna trust each other. Well,
And I mean, chat's always going to have a healthy mistrust of both of us, and I think they're going to beat us in the long run because chat never loses. Chat is undefeated.
that's undefeated. Yeah, we love y'all.
Yeah.
So let's go to Cool Frog's Discord and play some games and misbehave. All the
Yep.
things Susan and Todd won't let us do.
Yeah, do all the things over on the Discord. And like I said, I'll come hang out for a little bit, but I probably can't play because I do have to try to go to sleep. So catch y'all over there if you're heading that way. Love y'all. See y'all tomorrow at least for Philosophy Friday. And hopefully back here again for Law 4. Say less. Good night, everybody.
Later.